surrounded by widows that feel like mine. These are the people sharing you.
What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. And today, well, it's the ultimate comparison between three of the best smartphones of 2024, all made by probably the best smartphone manufacturer of 2024 and 2023, Vivo. Yes, today we are pitting the Vivo X100 Ultra versus the brand new X200 Pro and X200 Pro Mini. So, without further ado, let's go! Now, before we get into the comparison, I would just like to acknowledge how absolutely fortunate I am to be able to own these devices and review them for you. I read comments and I can see some people that can't afford to get a new phone, they're stuck with a 2 or 3 year old phone, and trust me, as my channel grows, giveaways will become more and more prominent. I just gave away a smartphone, there's another one given away for Christmas next month, so yeah. Stay tuned, keep hitting like and smash subscribe because I want to give as many smartphones away as possible. Now the other thing I need to get out of the way, plug alert, I stock all of these devices on the Average Dad Tech Store, but if you know me, which I think you all do, I'm going to be honest throughout the review. I stocked the most expensive smartphone in the world, the Huawei Mate XT, and it scored the lowest review rating of any device ever. If I was trying to push sales, I maybe would have told a few white lies to give it a higher score, but that is not what I'm about. So again, I see the comment saying, oh, he's only going to give positive reviews because he sells the phones. Utter nonsense. Now, with the release of the new X200 Pro Mini, we actually have three smartphones in the same category, but with different sizes. Now, to me, who likes a really large phone, the X100 Ultra covers that base. But for those that want a smaller flagship device, you're really limited. I mean, what other 6.3 inch true flagships are there? The iPhone 16 Pro, the Google Pixel 9 Pro. Are there any others? Let me know in the comments if I'm missing any. Well, let me tell you, from using the X200 Pro, I can tell you it smashes the Google and the iPhone. But how does it compare to its big brother or sister, the X200 Pro, and the grandfather of them all, the X100 Ultra? Well, let's talk about dimensions. Now, in terms of dimensions, the Ultra and the X200 Pro actually come in at basically the same size. They're both a 6.78 inch display. The Ultra comes in at 229 grams with the X200 Pro coming in at 223 grams. So yeah, slightly lighter with the Pro variant. Whereas the X200 Pro Mini is 6.3 inch diagonal display with 187 grams of weight. And folks, you feel it. Honestly, walking around with a foldable in one pocket and the Mini in the other, you forget the Mini is there. And when you take out your pocket, it just feels, yeah, refreshing, I would say, for someone that carries around all those big heavy phones. And then sticking with the displays, there are some slight differences here which give the nod to the Ultra. No, not just because it's bigger, but because it's sharper. This is the only one of the three that comes with a 1440p Quad HD resolution, giving you 517 pixels per inch. The X200 Pro comes in at 452 pixels per inch with a Ultra HD screen, so it is Ultra HD, as is the Mini, but because it's a slightly smaller screen, there's a bit more PPI, so you're getting around 460 PPIs on the Pro Mini. And they are all LTPO OLED panels with over 1 billion colours that go from 1 Hz all the way up to 120. All of the display settings from resolution to refresh rate can be tweaked in the settings menu. And then in terms of speakers, you can judge for yourself. All three sound really great for candy bar phones. Again, because of the size, I guess I'm probably going to have to give the nod to the X100 Ultra, but again, all three are absolute uber flagship speakers.
Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. Let 'em tell. Get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. Let 'em tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. Let 'em tell myself it's fine to be alone.
And yes, we'll get to cameras, don't worry, but I do have to discuss the battery and battery capacity. So the battery capacity on all three phones is actually different. The Vivo X100 Ultra actually has the smallest battery, coming in at 5,500 milliamp hours. Then there's the Mini, which, believe it or not, in that smaller frame has a 5,700 milliamp hour battery. Folks, let me tell you, I've used this device, I love this device. It's a 2-day battery life phone, almost no matter what. Honestly, mind-blowing. But then the biggest battery is actually in the X200 Pro, 6,000 milliamp hours. Again, this is a 2-day phone. Yesterday I gave my first impressions of the Oppo X8 Pro, which has like 5,910, so I rounded up to 6,000. With no rounding up with the Vivo, it's 6,000 milliamp hours. And then charging speeds, again, the X100 Ultra brings up the rear here with 80 watts wired and 30 watts wireless. The other two have 90 watts wired and 30 watts wireless. Now, that extra 10 watts isn't going to make a big bit of difference, and when you compare all of these Vivos to any Apple, Samsung, Google device, the charging speeds just blow them out the water. Now, before we talk cameras, there are a few similarities that are not different between any of these devices, and that's the software, latest and greatest Origin OS version, and the ROM. They are all Chinese ROM devices. As I sit here right now, there is no global variant. However, within about 4 weeks, I fully expect the global launch of the X200 Pro and the X200 Pro Mini. Hallelujah. Now, just quickly sticking with the internals, there is actually a difference here with the system. Now, sticking with internals, there is actually a difference between the SoCs. So the system on chips is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in the X100 Ultra, and the X200 Pro and Pro Mini get the latest MediaTek Dimensity 9400. Now that's 3nm architecture. Geekbench scores, 3D Wildlife, they're better than the 8 Gen 3. So chipset wise, performance wise, battery and efficiency wise, the X200 Pro series smashes the X100 Ultra. So if you're keeping track, display and speakers, kind of hardware you could say, went to the Ultra in my opinion. But I like a bigger screen. Internals, battery, performance, efficiency has gone to the Pro series. So going into the camera round, it's kind of all to play for. But please keep in mind, at no point in any of these comparison categories is there a big difference. If you buy the base model X200 Pro Mini or the fully terabyte packed out X100 Ultra, you are getting a very similar flagship, amazing candy bar experience. But now, let's talk cameras. Just wanted to interrupt, folks. The camera comparison was about specs before you start biting my head off. I will do an actual footage video, so a versus video purely dedicated to the outputs from each of the cameras. I'll include the Oppo X8 Pro, the iPhone 16 Pro Max, the OnePlus 13. It's going to be a bit of a mad video. I'm not quite sure how I'll pull it off, but yeah, it's coming. So this was just about the hardware and specs of the cameras. So in this round, specs wise, the X200 Pro Mini, because it is smaller, had to give up something. So it's a triple 50 megapixel camera setup in the X200 Pro Mini. Because of this, you are not getting the 200 megapixel periscope zoom lens found inside the X100 Ultra and the X200 Pro. You also lose the lack of 8K video recording and 4K recording at 120 frames per second, a speed that I actually like for slow motion and B-roll. However, as you can deduce, the X100 Ultra and the X200 Pro have 8K 30 frames per second recording, they have 4K up to 120, and most importantly, they both have that 200 megapixel periscope zoom lens. 3.7 times optical, but folks, it's not official on paper and Vivo haven't said this, but anything up to 10x is lossless. It is unbelievable. And one of the few smartphones you can go 50, 70, 100x and still read a sign. The 200 megapixel periscope lens on these phones is the best telephoto lens I have ever used. Hands down. So there we have it, the hardware, the internals, the cameras. The last thing to touch on is just the price, and luckily this is fairly straightforward. All three of these devices, no matter what storage version you go for, are going to be well under £1,000. You can actually get the X200 Pro Mini brand new, sealed from the average Dad Tech store. For the 256GB version, it comes in just around £600. Absolutely incredible bargain. But again, I am not the only import store here. Do your research, do your shopping around. If you find a cheaper price, let me know and I will match it. So, what do you think? I am going to pick the X100 Ultra because for me, I love a bigger screen. But as I mentioned at the top of the video, at present I own all three. The X200 Pro I've actually sold, to be fair. But I think I'm going to keep the Mini to complement the Ultra because for different scenarios, like going on a night out or going for dinner, maybe I want that smaller compact. For going on holiday or somewhere I know I'm going to take lots of photos, while the X200 Pro Mini will be perfect, I'll probably take the X100 Ultra. But let me know in the comments what you think. Also let me know if you've enjoyed this comparison. Was it enough? Did I miss something? I will answer your questions in the comments down below. And I'll be back soon with my full reviews of the X200 Pro and the X200 Pro Mini and that Oppo X8 Pro and the OnePlus 13, the IQ30. Yeah, there's a lot coming. And for all those asking about the Realme GT7 Pro, I wasn't going to bother, but I mean, literally dozens of people have said please review it. So for you, I have ordered, I am getting the Realme GT7 Pro. So that video will be dropping in the next 7 to 10 days. And before you go, if you are still here and you have enjoyed this, please smash subscribe. I know you like the content because you keep coming back. It's free to subscribe to the channel. You can sign up to be a channel member at Buy Me a Coffee, gets you into the WhatsApp group chat. But subscribing to the actual channel, that button just down here, is free. And I'm doing this full time now. So, you know, help a brother out. Until next time,